be back with you. It's Wednesday, so you know what that means. It's time for me to show you things that I have pulled out of my fridge and I have made into a great recipe. So today I'm making asparagus, purple potato, and green zucchini casserole. Okay, now how I got to this recipe is I was in the grocery store and I saw these beautiful asparagus, and they were just so gorgeous green and having a little bit of purple. It was truly like buying sculpture. I just had to have them in my hands and in my house. But then I got home and I was like, I don't like asparagus. I wish I did. I wish I was one of those people that liked it. I can only eat the real tops. I think those are good, but I don't really like the rest of it. And I thought, well, okay, now I have asparagus. I can't let them go to waste. They're just too beautiful. What am I going to do with them? So I looked up online odd things to do with asparagus, and casserole came up, but I didn't have any of those ingredients in my house. So I thought, fine, I'll just make my own casserole and I'll put it together as I like it. So this is what I had in my fridge, and this is what I made, and I threw a dinner party last Saturday night, and my friends really dug it, and they all wanted the recipe. So this video's for them. This is their recipe. Okay, so what I do is I have a huge casserole bowl, dish really, and I chop up 2 cups of asparagus. Now I got the green asparagus, but you know, this is also the season you can get purple asparagus, which are just so beautiful. They're a little sweeter, the purple asparagus. Really, this recipe is all about you, what you have in your fridge, what's easy, and what you like. So if you'd rather use purple asparagus, it'll work, no problem. Okay, so 2 cups, and I just dump those in. This is a great thing about casserole. You just dump things in, put it in the oven, and you're done. Then I got purple potatoes, and I specifically went out of my way to get purple potatoes because I think they're so beautiful, and I love the purple and green together, and I wanted to see that combination. So I dice really in quarters small purple potatoes, and I throw in about 1.5 cups. There you go. Making serious headway here. And then I took green zucchini, and I do 2 cups of this, but I just chop off the top, chop off the end, you know, right where there's the round sort of brown spot. And then I cut down the middle one way, and I cut down the middle the rest of the way. So it has cuts already in it, and then I just dice away, which is so great. And I have these small little triangles of zucchini. So great, like I said, we're just gonna throw these in. So now we've got asparagus, purple potatoes, green zucchini, and then I do red onion. But last Saturday, I didn't have red onion, so I did yellow onion instead. So you can do the same thing. This is all about flexible and what you have in the fridge. So I do about 1/2 cup of red onion, or yellow onion, if that's what you got. Throw it in, people, throw it in. All right. And you know, just there are videos online where you can do beautiful chopping of onions. I just did mine kind of down and dirty and chopped like this, but if you want to really see some beautiful works of art, watch people chop onions. It's pretty intense and amazing. Then my gal pal Miyoko, so we all know her. Oh, FYI, this is a vegan casserole, people. So we all know her. She's so fantastic. I chopped up 1.5 cups of her vegan mozzarella cheese, basically, her vegan cheese. And hey folks, this is what we do. We throw it in, because it's all about being easy, and it's all about being fast and feeding a lot of people really easy and fast. So just throw in my cheese. Now, I do 1.5 cups of cheese, but I save myself about 1/2 cup of cheese, and I'm gonna throw that in at the end. We'll talk about that later. All right. Then I do my very handy Vegenaise. So I have a podcast called Awesome Vegans, and I'm always asking, one of my final exit questions is, what are we always gonna find in your fridge? Well, you're always gonna find in my fridge Vegenaise because it's healthy, it's vegan, you can cook with it, which I love to do. I tend to usually do heaping tablespoons, but you don't have to. You can just do level one. Well, you see I like heaping. But okay, so 3 tablespoons are going in, and we are very soon to just mix everything and throw it in the oven. So while I'm doing this, I'll tell you it's probably a good idea right about now to preheat your oven to 350. All right, another heaping tablespoon, as I like to do it. Now, right before we salt and pepper to taste, so easy, I am going to partake in a very fun exercise. So, at this point, what I do is I put in about a cup and a half, a cup and a quarter of coarse breadcrumbs. So I like to make these myself, and what I do is I take my handy dandy wassa, which I love. I love wassa crackers because they're just so healthy. There's no oils in them. It's just basic ingredients. I love it. And then I take this and I make the breadcrumbs myself because I want them to be really coarse. So if you've had a bad day, this actually feels really great. So I just kind of, it's a little messy because things are always flying this way and that way, but I just kind of beat my breadcrumbs until I've got them the way I want them. And I'll show you here. Ooh, that's so fun. I'll show you here. See how coarse they are? I like that, kind of big and chunky. Hey people, what we're doing, we're throwing it in. So I just throw in my cup and a half of breadcrumbs, and then I hold back about a half a cup of breadcrumbs because we're gonna do that at the end too. So I'll tell you all about that. Ooh, come on you, come to the middle. Okay, so now that I've got my very big casserole dish full to the brim, which is so great, don't want to miss any Vegenaise, so make sure I get it all. I don't like to throw out food, which is why I make so many recipes of just what's going on in my fridge, because I don't want to waste any food, and I certainly don't want to waste any Vegenaise. I'm going to get out the series wooden spoon. And I'm mixing, and I'm mixing. Gosh, it's pretty. So you have the white cheese and Vegenaise, you have the purple potatoes and the red onions, you have the green zucchini and the green asparagus. What's nice about this is, so you guys are doing what you're told and you've preheated to 350. What's nice about this is the asparagus in particular stay crunchy. So you're only going to, holy cow, things are falling left and right. I kind of clean as I go, so when things fall off, I pick them up. So I'm going to do that. So the asparagus stays nice and crunchy, and so this dish has a little bit of a fresh bite to it, even though it's all baked together, which is something that I love. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure that it all melds together. Harmonious vegetables, some great vegan things like Vegenaise and Miyoko's cheese. Got a little crunch with the breadcrumbs. This is why I like to leave my breadcrumbs coarse. And I also, truth be told, I like to do the pounding myself. So that's why I don't buy breadcrumbs. I've got my handy wassa for that. All right. Okay, so no real rocket science to this. Salt and pepper to taste. Look, our handy dandy shakers. Okay. If you like it saltier, go saltier. If you like it with, a little bit more black pepper, that's up to you. I like to add a little bit of garlic salt because, hey ho, why the heck not? And again, I just kind of shake this on. I don't really measure it out to the teaspoon or tablespoon, because you'd be doing like an eighth or a quarter of a teaspoon. So I just sprinkle it on top and let it ride, people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this in the oven once it hits 350, and I'm going to put it on the timer for about 27 minutes, and then I'm going to pull it out, and I'll tell you what I do from there. Okay, before this goes in my oven, I knew I'd get to this stage, so I was prepared. I put on my tinfoil. I'm telling you, this is super easy, and it's a great way to feed what I did, 10 people last Saturday night. Okay, so I'm going to put this handy dandy thing in the oven. I'm coming right back. I've cheated. So I made this little guy ahead of time because I knew that I would have to talk to you guys about the next steps. So at this stage, after about 27 minutes when the alarm has gone off, and if you're like me, you have to set an alarm because I'll go take a shower and I'll completely forget that I was cooking. So don't do that. Set an alarm about 27 minutes. And then I pull it out and I put in a half a cup of Miyoko cheese. And I just work that in again, which I've secretly already done here. I work that in and I put it in 5 more minutes. And again, set your timer, because if you don't, you'll go out that night and forget you're even cooking, which is something I could do. So I already did that here. I worked in the last half cup of Miyoko cheese. And then because I like to pound so much and I want it to be crunchy, I put it in for 5 minutes and I take it out, and when it's all ready, I sprinkle breadcrumbs on the top. Okay? So I've already done that here, and so we've got crunchy breadcrumbs right on the top, and we've got our Miyoko cheese melting in that last bit of extra layer. And then I like to, because hey, why the heck not, it is all about being pretty after all, particularly if you're entertaining. It's nice to have a little bit of parsley just on the top. It looks fresh, and as I say, why the heck not? So this is, I think, a pretty dish. Even though casseroles tend to not be beautiful dishes because it's all just mushed together, which is why they're so easy. It's just got so many colors, and I think this is a great dish for fall because it's heavy, but it's also a great dish for summer because it has all these wonderful vegetables, zucchini and asparagus and purple potatoes. So let me correct myself here. When I said it's heavy, I mean it's got some, you can really feed people. This is a dinner dish. But it's not, like I said, we're using Miyoko's vegan cheese and we're using Vegenaise, so it's light, and you've got all these great vegetables. Here's my dish. Ooh la 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 la. All right, and I'm eating. You're gonna thank me. It's so super good. And you know what's amazing? So now, I've cooked it for about 32 minutes total, 27 plus the 5. You can still taste the tang of the Vegenaise. It's incredible. This is why I always have Vegenaise in my kitchen, because you can cook so well with it and it keeps that wonderful taste. Okay, I'm having another bite before I send you guys on your way. One more thing. Just like we salt to taste, you can always put lemon on to taste. Lemon and asparagus love each other. They have this little affair going on, so you can always sprinkle a little lemon on the top, or even a wedge of lemon on people's plates if you're entertaining, and it's something they would really like. Okay, folks, Wednesday recipe. I like to keep them short and I like to keep them fast, so hopefully you can use this at the next dinner party you have, or to impress somebody just how great you cook and how easy it is. And you know, these are the things that I put in my casserole, but I'm sure if you didn't have a green zucchini but you had a yellow squash, no big deal, throw it in. If you don't have a red onion but you have a yellow onion, use that. It's not about stress and it's not about being perfect. It's about bringing beautiful things together, and of course the joy of just being around beautiful vegetables and cooking a great recipe. Bye, folks.